now's the time when things are shifting. There's gonna be a new world order out there, and we gotta lead it.
True internet suffered depression.
You are fake news.
I am not suicidal.
We'll circle back with you directly. I can circle back. I'll circle back with you.
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
Hello and welcome to episode 285 of the Jeffrey and Brian Show. I am Jeffrey.
I'm Brian.
We're just two guys drinking some beer, talking about what's going on. We got our semi-regular, I guess regular, because I guess you'd be a full-on host if you were here every single time. But we got Guapo with us once again.
Well, as soon as you guys start paying me, then I will consider it.
Yeah.
As soon as someone starts paying us, the show will be a lot better than it is. Hey, this show actually costs us money to produce.
Well,
That's why it's slapped together with bubble gum and duct tape.
We got some new listeners in Virginia.
Nice.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
your
One
VA
of the-
buddies.
They're members of the VFW, and I told them about the show last weekend, and the wife listened to it, and she came back Friday night. She's like, "Whoa, my word, your
You
shit
guys are
is
terrible."
ridiculous. I love it."
Well, before we get going, speaking of the VFW, Monday is Memorial Day.
Yep.
So, just for everyone out there, I got a feeling all of our listeners are familiar with what the Memorial Day is, but that's all the brothers and sisters that didn't come back home
Yep.
when in the service. So, pour one out for the good guys, right?
Cheers.
Cheers.
What the hell are you drinking?
Blue Hawaiian.
I was gonna say it's one of them girly drinks. Like it should have
Oh
an
yeah,
umbrella in
the
it.
big the club tail.
Hey, look, it's only like $3. I cannot dispute that.
Yeah,
What's
well,
the
you should put
alcohol
some.
content on the?
10%.
Yeah, that's not so
It's
bad.
like a Four Loco.
Oh my God.
God, you give me flashbacks.
The good old days.
When poison was legal.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you guys remember when that baseball fan at the Pirates game fell off the
Yeah.
wall
Oh,
20
yeah.
feet? I watched the video of it today. Showed it to the wife. She's like, "Holy crap! How did he survive that?" Like he flipped end over end and hit the lower tier on his way down.
Damn.
Well,
He actually survived it?
Yes, he did. It turns out he was 20 years old. His friend had been feeding him booze in the parking lot, then bought him 2 in the stadium, and he is now facing charges for this.
The friend or himself?
The friend who gave him booze.
He was 20 years old.
He was 20 years old, and his buddy hooked him up with a bunch of beer and bought him some in the
Alcohol.
stadium.
Distribute alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it? Leading to delinquency of a minor, or maybe
Distribute liquid, yeah.
yeah. So this guy's gonna be in a lot of trouble because that dude. I mean, don't get me wrong, the guy survived, but that hurt. That was a long fall.
Oh yeah.
You know what? That's even worse. The hospital bill.
Yeah. Yeah. He might be responsible instead of the insurance at this point, right?
Yeah.
You never know what insurance companies will do to not have to pay out, right?
Yeah.
They fucking work with the DA, so they don't have to work.
Yeah. So Trump and the Department of Defense have accepted this Boeing 747 from. Okay, they say Qatar. It's what I hear everywhere, but I've always thought it was Qatar.
Cutter.
I've heard they're saying it gutter now. I mean, it changes when they at every administration had a different title for it.
Like Kiev or Kiev.
Well, Turkey just changed the name too to Turkey.
Turkey.
Are they
The
changing,
blade, the blade.
They're gonna turn Constantinople back into Istanbul.
They're not gonna do that, you know that.
Oh, I'm sorry, the other way around. It's Istanbul now. Istanbul was Constantinople,
Yeah.
but that's nobody's business but the Turks.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody remembers that song.
Oh yeah, you remember? I mean, remind me of it, but
I still think this is a mistake because I got to rip this aircraft apart from nose to tail. And you know what I mean? Because you can't just have the president flying around Air Force One that a foreign nation gave us.
yeah.
It's going to cost a lot of money to do what they need to
Well,
do.
the other ones are
Exactly.
supposed to come out. It's supposed to be 2 Air Force One come out, but that shit haven't come out yet from Boeing, and they got a lot.
And he started the plans when he was president the first time. So Boeing's been working on this plane for over 8 years.
I would double check
Yes.
Boeing's work after this. Everything going on.
It's interesting you say that because we have something in here about this. Not sure where, but with Trump basically shutting down the lawsuit against Boeing and a couple other companies that Joe
Yeah,
Biden had
it's
started.
coming up. It's coming up.
Yeah. Okay, so the jailbreak in New Orleans.
Yep.
Now 2 people have been arrested for assisting these fugitives to get out. How
That's the
widespread
beginning.
was? What's that?
I think it's just the beginning.
Yeah, how widespread can this be, and how did this happen that these people thought they could do this and get away with it?
They're criminals. They don't think.
No, these were employees of the jail.
Okay. What's the gender again for the employees?
The most likely male, but females are allowed to work, especially jails.
They
It
were
could be
female.
anybody.
They were
There you
female.
go. So they had this
They got love bombed by the criminals and stuff.
like, oh, what are you in for? Murder? Oh, let me help you get out of here. Come on. Of course, remember, there's a whole bunch of women too that send love letters to convicted murderers too, right?
Oh yeah,
They
Yeah.
marry
they're
them.
looking for a sugar daddy.
And it goes the other way too. Male guards fall in love with female prisoners and shit. Shit happens, But
Orange is the new black when you knock her up.
oh yeah. Mustache
By the way,
guy.
have you guys seen Orange is the New Black?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you watch Oz?
No.
No.
Okay. Orange is the New Black completely ripped off Oz. It's the same stories that happen in the show, except it's women in a prison, except a bunch of dudes.
I feel like women in prison would be more entertaining.
Yeah,
Drama.
especially
It's just drama.
well, especially the prison rape scene when you see Lou Maloney full frontal nude.
I don't know who's
If
that.
Did you watch Law and Order SVU?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was he was Elliot, the dude on the show.
He was in it full from what?
Stabler?
Yeah. Stabler is Lou Maloney.
Okay.
He was in Oz. And if you guys haven't seen Happy, you should check that out. He's got this imaginary friend when he's all jacked up and causes all sorts of problems. All right. I know we've discussed this before, but I didn't want to put it into follow-up because it's been so long that it's been discussed. But the U.S. Mint has moved forward with its plans to nix the penny. Now, I remember
And
Brian and
help
I
the fuckers
disagreed
get
on
this
this. What's that?
4 women got arrested so far
Oh,
for
look at
helping
that.
the
It's even more
10
modern.
inmates escape.
It's more modern than that's even more current news than I have. Look at that. But yeah, the Mint is looking to get rid of the penny. They've actually taken the next step forward to do it and have signed off to do it.
Yeah, they just purchased the last batch of pennies.
Yeah, I still think this is a mistake, but I understand why.
It's cost more than a penny to make the penny.
Yes, and I understand that. But the problem is the nickel
Well,
will just become the new penny.
Would that make that penny worth something 5 cents then?
Well,
If
Not
it's
yet.
no, but seriously, get some pennies from the last year they're gonna be minted and keep them in the hard plastic case you get them with.
No, but I'm saying like if it's in order to exchange something, exchange had to be value something. If it's too cheap to make, that means it's not worth nothing.
I know what you mean, but
It's
what's
a
the difference
penny.
between printing a
But it
one or
values something.
100?
It
Do
is-
you? Let me ask you a question. Do you, when you see a penny laying on the ground, do you take the time and effort to bend down and pick it up?
If
Hell
it's
yeah,
heads
that
up,
make
I
a
do.
dollar. I'll pick
If
any
it's heads
coin.
up, man, see a penny, pick it up all the day, you'll have good luck.
I'd pick it up. I don't.
I usually only focus on the silver when I
Realistically, I
on the
pick up
ground.
quarters if I see coins on the ground.
It's good luck.
But
I barely see quarters and stuff.
I'm just
coins.
saying that I'm just saying the nickel should become the new penny.
Mm.
Everything that was $2.99 will become $3. And over the course of the rest of your life, how many dollars is that going to be?
A million.
Yeah, exactly.
But I say if we keep taking coins off, then it's gonna be the next pen. I mean, the next one's gonna be less valuable. The next one's gonna be like, then we're gonna be like coinless.
That's exactly what I said. Was that the nickel just becomes the new penny, and
Yeah.
then eventually they're going to say it's not worth this.
Hmm.
And I'd like to see more dollar coins, honestly, but that's just me.
Oh, they.
Oh, Susan
I
B.
know where they
Anthony was
are.
the
I
shit.
know where they are. I know where they are. They're in
Where?
The dollar
El
coins are.
Salvador. Yeah, El
They're
Salvador.
in your house?
El Salvador.
I mean,
I
I
thought
caught
they
a
were.
bunch of.
I thought they got the Bitcoin going.
No, yeah, they do get become, but they take dollars now over there, and they like coins, hard coins. They've set up ATM, a Bitcoin ATM on fire because they don't want it.
Which is nuts. Just don't use it then, right?
They want hard cash. They want hard, Even though everybody has a debit card, smartphones now, and I bet you they're freaking paying with it, their
Well,
phone. They're like, oh,
the issue with coins,
mm,
realistically, is how you going to carry around $25 in coins in your pocket. You need a satchel at that point. You know what I mean?
that's cool. You take it to the bank and or you keep it in your house. You got it with you. I like.
I have a ton of dollar coins, but they're all like
All right, let
1970
me ask you this:
They're
You
all
buy a
oval with
video?
actual silver in them.
Do you play video games?
No, not anymore.
Okay. Do you used to buy video games? Yes. All right. You had an
Did I
option.
used
Do you want to download it or you want to buy the hard copy?
Oh, dude, it's driving me nuts when I buy a movie through a streaming service like
Hmm.
Disney or something,
Hmm.
because like something happens and all of a sudden I don't have it anymore. Like if you
Yep.
can't, as Guapo likes to say, if you can't hold it, you don't own it.
Yeah. Same thing with coins and money.
Well, shit. How many times have I brought up on this show that I'd love to see states bring back and start minting their own currency again?
Yeah. We
If
got
they're
different methods of payment now. We got PayPal. Thank you, Mus. We got there's so many payments options nowadays.
Venmo,
Venmo, yeah.
cash, direct bank transfer,
Mhm. OnlyFans. I mean, yeah,
Zell.
Zelle. There you go.
Hmm.
Plus actual hard cash, which you gotta be careful carrying around too much cash though. They're gonna think you're doing something shady and illegal to avoid paying taxes or to buy or sell something illegal, you know?
I don't care.
Probably are.
I still accept the cash where I work. Like, okay,
Well, no,
everybody.
no, no. 20, $50,
Dude,
even
the
$500.
$100 bill is like a $20 nowadays. Here.
That's okay. I'm just saying if you're carrying around $60,000 in cash,
Mm-hmm.
there's a good chance the police sees it until they find out why you have that much cash on you.
Well, that's your dumbass for carrying out in public.
This is the same shit we brought up. Was it Christy Nome a couple weeks ago who
Yeah.
had all that cash? I was like, what's she doing carrying around that much cash?
How much was it?
It was thousands, I remember.
I think
And
it's
all I
like
could think was like,
2,000.
what do you do? What are you doing carrying around this much cash? You're just begging to be robbed.
I mean, like Trump used to give everybody a tip,
$100
$100 tip.
bills. Yep.
Yeah. So,
It's a little different when you're a multi-billionaire. The cop's like, why do you have all this money? And as everyone's like, he just gave me $100. He's like, I like to tip my staff. You know? But yeah, a lot of people don't realize states are allowed to make their own currency as long as there's gold or silver in them. So like West Virginia could have cut themselves out of the inflation of the dollar by minting their own coins.
yeah, why not? Fuck it.
Yeah, I'm seriously tempted to write my governor a letter.
Do you hear
Like-
about? I don't want to jump. I don't know if we got in the listen here. Around the Santa about property taxes.
No,
think
it's
so.
not in here.
Oh,
No, what about it?
he said it's a scam, so they're gonna eliminate property taxes.
They're already doing.
In
So where are they
Florida?
gonna get all their money from? Because they don't have like income tax.
They make all the money from tourism. They tax the shit out of sales in tourist areas.
I don't see why. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, if people want
purchase-
to come to Florida to come visit, let them pay the taxes of the people of Florida. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean,
Just
if you got
that-
more, if you let people keep more money, they're gonna spend it wherever and then keep the economy going.
The more money in your pocket, exactly. Because most Americans can't hold on to a dollar to save their lives, and you
Nope,
know that.
like, spend it like
It burns a hole in everyone's pocket. That's why everyone's like, "I'm so poor." It's like, dude, you made $80,000 last year.
Oh,
Maybe you
you
shouldn't
saw?
have a $60,000 car.
I didn't know you saw the meme that posted like, I don't want to walk and buy $6 thing. Let me order by Uber Eats. They pay $600 for it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I love it. Like, oh, it's just too expensive to eat healthy. So I go to Burger King. I'm like, fuck you. Do you know it costs like $4 to make a salad for one versus what you're paying $14, $17 for
Dude,
a fucking Whopper
it's
combo?
$1.95 for the bag of salad, cut and chop for you. All you have
Yeah.
to put is just toppings, and you know.
Now I like to add more stuff into mine. I like to put up some onions, some bell pepper,
I put
some
corn, hard-boiled eggs,
yeah,
you know,
croutons,
oh hell yeah, croutons.
bacon bits,
A black
cheese.
dude. I even put black beans on it. Fuck it, why
Oh,
not?
the wife puts black olives in her salad.
Oh really? Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I'll even put chicken I cooked up that left over from the night before in
Oh
my
yeah.
salad.
Mm.
Oh,
I like
and it
when
costs-
chicken has been cooked for like a week.
There you go.
There you go. Man.
I like to live dangerously.
Yeah, oh yeah. Just if you ain't ready to sit in the toilet all day, you aren't going to have a good meal, right?
Hey, you know what? For that trick, too, you guys buy French bread at all? Like
The actual
roll?
baguettes.
Like real rolls and stuff like that.
Yeah, sometimes I tend to go Texas toast these
So-
days.
So when you buy that, you get it wet and put it in a toaster over. It's nice and crunchy after, dude.
How do you get it wet? You like
Just
tell it
put
it's
it-
sexy that you love it.
No, just like sprinkle some
Oh,
water.
come
from
on,
the
that
sink.
was a good one.
Oh, you went that way. Oh,
All right.
All right.
So I made sure to use a news source that I disagree with in general.
Mhm.
Because their headline is Republicans sneak terrible gun law change into Trump's budget bill from the New Republic. Because people don't read these damn bills before they pass them, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, that happened with a lot of bills.
Exactly.
Like the Inflation Reduction Act.
Exactly. The Republicans put in into this bill that you no longer have to register a suppressor for your firearm. One Dem senator said something like, "Oh yeah, you're helping assassins instead of citizens." I'm like, these guys are dumb. They still think that you can get into like a gunfight in the subway, like in
Right.
John Wick, and no one else in the subway besides the two of you know there's a gunfight happening.
Yeah.
Say once
I
again,
mean, that you have to admit that was a good scene too.
it was a great scene, but it's ridiculous and you know it. Just so everyone is aware, I'm going to bring it up another time. It's the same technology from the automotive muffler. And by that, I mean, the guy designed the gun suppressor to make the gunshot less loud so you don't deafen your neighbors when you're shooting at a deer in your yard.
Mhm.
He then took the same design and attached it to a fucking car. You can still hear the car running, can't you?
Yep.
So you're going to hear a gunshot. It's just not going to freaking wake you up at 5 a.m. when your neighbor's hunting, you know?
Right.
And I know a lot of folks, and they say, like, "Oh, who's out hunting at 5 a.m?" Real hunters.
Yeah.
You know?
You gotta be out there before the sun comes up.
Exactly. You want to catch the animals when they're looking for food and eating. And boom, here's dinner for a month, you know? I got myself a deer.
Buck Wild. That's where they first came from.
Yeah. It's funny. I heard go for broke and where that came from yesterday, and I was surprised. It's an old Hawaiian term that was used by a military unit in World War II that were the Japanese soldiers from that were allowed to fight instead of being put in internment camps. And they would say go for broke because like the Japs hate us, they attacked us. The Americans don't want us around. We have to pick a side. And they went for broke.
They went.
And best part
Listen
is
to
their
the guy
biggest
for
win
the.
was at their biggest win was at a place called Monte Casino. It's like they're big go for broke, all my chips on the table at casino. I was like, phew. That's poetic, you know?
Yep.
You listen to the guy about the 492 infantry or something like that?
Yeah, the fat electrician.
Yeah.
Yeah, I listened to that last night and I was like, this is brilliant. I love that guy's work, dude.
Dude, his work is they should make movies out of this stuff.
Oh, yeah, and I'm seeing his reviews. Actually, did you familiar that he's with Unsubscribe? Okay, there's a bigger podcast he's on with like 6 guys. One of them is a detective, and they did this big expose thing where they went out and got the evidence and proved that Buffalo, New York, was the school was suppressing child rape in the schools, and they're like, here are the receipts. I was like, damn,
yeah, that's right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, damn, you guys actually. But I mean, they got a whole bunch of vets. They got cops and everything.
Mhm.
But that's their show. They're very successful, and we're just three drunk assholes.
Yep.
Brian, this is your home area, so tell me what's going on in Michigan
Oh yes.
because I got a good laugh out of this.
I figured you would. That's why I put it on there. There's a father and son that were out hiking and camping,
Well, I
and
thought they were hunting, but maybe they were.
had a critical Bigfoot encounter.
And yeah, the thing is, they had no evidence besides their word of mouth.
Right.
But I don't know, like, let's keep the idea of Sasquatch alive, right?
Yep.
Actually, I almost bought a 3 foot tall wooden cutout of a Squatch to put in my front yard because it's huge here.
Uh-huh.
A lot of mythical beasts live here in West Virginia.
Well, Pat and I were talking about tonight. He just came back that way through West Virginia recently and saw all the signs for the Mothman Museum.
Yeah,
And
Mothman's a big deal.
I'm like, I've been seeing that sign for years. One day I'm gonna stop and check it out. I'm just gonna do it.
A local potato chip company has made a Mothman flavored chip. They're spicy chips.
Okay.
I still have some on my stove because I'm not a huge fan. I like spicy. I just this particular flavor I don't love. But when you need a snack, sometimes you just want a snack.
Yep.
Check this out though. Maine was discussing and was getting ready to switch their electoral vote system because Maine and Nebraska are the only two states that split their votes, depending on Maine was about to go into the popular vote, as in winner takes all.
Compact.
Yeah. Well,
which means that there's a bunch of states that say no matter how their people vote, they'll go with the majority of the vote nationwide.
Yeah, exactly. No matter, they don't care if how your individual counties and people voted.
Right.
Which is obviously an attempt to get the Democrats to vote. The vote, right?
Probably.
And I'm a little surprised that Maine pulled out because Maine is very, very liberal.
And say no.
But yeah, now they're talking about pulling out of that compact. So I'm pretty stoked about this, I guess. I don't know, man. Like, why is Maine gonna cast their votes depending on how California voted?
Exactly.
That would just piss me off if I lived there. But even if you got 100% vote in Maine for the Libertarian Party,
yep,
and then the Republican got the majority of the vote, my state's gonna vote against everybody who lives there.
Exactly.
All right. What's up with this party you guys had?
There's a pop-up party.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that exactly means.
Like a flash mob.
Yeah, all right. So everybody shows up at the same time. It's still a party, but 400 students showed up to Buckrow Beach.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
That must have caused.
It's still going on.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we had
It got so bad that the Hampton Police Department is setting up a satellite police station down there for the summer.
Yeah, I can imagine it's just going to be a mess.
It happened in Chicks Beach too, and they littered the hell out of Chicks Beach. So they were so upset about it. They're supposed to have another one, and they're like, "Nope, we're not having this."
Yeah, these stupid kids don't give a shit. Like, oh, someone else will clean it up.
Yeah.
But now there's broken beer bottles and hypodermic needles. Not that Buckrow Beach was one of the cleanest ones to begin with.
No.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah, it's pretty messed up. Well, Newport News. Not everyone knows there's an airport in Newport News, Virginia. Everyone thinks Norfolk or Richmond, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I've never flown out of Newport News because they don't tend to go everywhere, and I was surprised.
They don't go anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. They don't go anywhere. Exactly. I was surprised they were still open. What's going on with that? Apparently, they need money.
Yep.
Yeah, because
they've determined that they're going to have a $4 million shortfall next year.
All right. And I guess they're going to just have the
Newport News pay for it.
Newport News, not even Virginia. Newport News.
Yep.
Interesting. All right. Well, out here, there is first of all, before I get into it, check out the 50th anniversary can for Miller Lite in the tall boy.
Let me see. Here.
Gold colored. Pretty sweet, huh? I don't know.
It's
I don't
like,
remember the. Huh?
it's like Coors Light. Coors.
Yeah, Coors Original.
Yeah.
Yellow Jacket.
Well, I was wondering because I don't remember what every anniversary is. Is 50-year anniversary a wedding anniversary
Yeah,
gold
it's
as a
gold.
present?
It
Well,
is.
there you go. That makes perfect sense, doesn't it?
I didn't buy any. But every time black Coors Light are normal color.
Well, this is the tall can too. I only bought a 12 pack of them because I ran out of beer. uh, anyway, here in Morgantown, Morgansville. Sorry, the names of the cities here are a little different. Morgantown, West Virginia. They're having I guess it's the 21st. It's the Geo Woodstock 21.
Mm-hmm.
It's a treasure hunt slash scavenger hunt, and you go around and you have to use your phone to like scan stuff to say I was here, but there's
So
like
like,
stuff to do with each of these sites.
what was the name of that game?
What's the name? This one here is called the Geo Woodstock 21.
No, the video game everybody was doing for a long time.
I
You
don't know.
you guys were doing it too on your phone,
I don't know what you're talking about. I
going
really
around the
don't.
neighborhoods and Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Oh, I wasn't. The wife loved it, but that was different. That was you would see monsters on your phone and you could collect them versus this. Each place you go gives you a hint where the next place to go is.
It's like a
Okay.
treasure hunt.
But yeah, like 5,000 people are coming from all over the country to participate in this thing, and it's 100% free.
That's good. Bring a lot of taxes and revenue.
Exactly. Bring in tourism.
Mm-hmm.
And check this out. The U.S. Marshals just made 40 arrests here in West Virginia for fugitives that have gotten away or run away.
Mm-hmm.
So that's always good, bringing fugitives back into justice.
Oh yeah.
It's unfortunate we had to get the U.S. Marshals involved, but that is kind of what they do, isn't it?
Yep.
All right. Brian shared this one. In a shocking turn of events, it turns out Joe's cabinet meetings were scripted and controlled.
Yeah, it's really shocking.
Mm.
Oh my goodness. Who could have seen this coming?
If you got common sense, I think you could.
I mean, you did. I mean, he would not do a press conference without a list of which reporters he was supposed to call and when. So
Yeah, in advance. He's like, exactly. This is the guy you're going to call on next. And here's the answer to the question he's going to ask, right?
yep.
My God. And this is what's so frustrating is it's so obvious to so many people. But then again, the difference between a conspiracy theory and reality is anywhere between 6 months and 2 years,
Yeah.
Speaking of covering shit up, turns out these health officials were hiding the risks of COVID vaccines in terms of inflammation. In
Yeah,
particular,
right. Yep.
myocarditis, swelling of the heart.
Which is a big one.
That was the one that had professional athletes dropping dead on the field of play.
Yeah.
And we had the news telling us like that's normal. It happens all the time. It's like no.
No, it doesn't.
No, I don't. You don't see like 25-year-old international soccer stars dropping dead because their heart exploded.
No.
And this is
Definitely
all
not on the playing field. Maybe their heart exploding off field, but not on the field.
It's ridiculous. And this was all brought up when it was happening. Like, you're out of your mind. This happens all the time.
No, it doesn't.
No. I think we would know this and people would be playing less sports if it killed people all the time, right?
Yeah, yep.
And it wasn't just happening to elite athletes. It was happening to other people. We just heard about it because,
Athletes.
the world champion weightlifter died of a myocarditic infarction, Dear God. Well, check this out. Because of all these cover-ups, this has given a lot of Democrats the chance to break off from leadership. And it's like, we have nothing to do with that garbage. We want to go back to the way the Democrats were, which we've been talking about how long that the Democrats need major reform, major overhaul. Because if they keep pushing this line, they're not going to get any votes.
Right.
I don't know. here's hoping maybe something changes, but I don't know how far it's going to go because it looks like seriously, it looks like AOC might be the front runner for whatever it is she wants to run for. But they're saying she might be
No,
the new senator.
no.
Who's
She has a chance of winning senator. She ain't got a snowball chance of hell winning the national politics.
Well, I hear rumors that New York State may go red. Rumors, I don't know.
all you
Well,
need
if
is
it
a,
wasn't for New York City, it would be red all the
I was,
time.
I was exactly what I was saying. All you need
Upstate New
is
York is so deep red, it's unbelievable. I lived there for 9 months in Rochester, New York, for when I was in the Navy, and that area is not, and it's not indicative of New York City.
it's funny. Rochester, my nemesis on my first ship, he was in my division, was from Rochester.
Okay.
Yeah, I
They
just
were the big thing you could eat there was the garbage plate.
the garbage plate.
Uh-huh.
What is one of these?
A lot of hamburger meat, pretty much anything you think about on a plate. They just throw it all together and you eat it. It's a fantastic midnight snack after you've been out at the bar.
I was gonna say it sounds like Taco Bell on your way home, right?
Yeah.
You want something gross and greasy so you can get to sleep and not throw up.
Yep.
Hey, for you guys in the West, that's Del Taco.
Oh, we got Del Taco on the East Coast.
I know, I've been there. I don't know. It's not. It doesn't. I went there one day. Didn't feel the same. I don't know because it was 3 in the afternoon and not 3 in the morning. You know?
Yeah. Every time I'm heading down Battlefield Boulevard, I got a decision to make. Do I get Mongolian or do I get Del Taco?
Mongolian barbecue. This is what is of the taco? That's what Del Taco means. Del means of the, right?
Oh yeah.
Or de la if it's feminine.
It doesn't matter.
Well, feminine or masculine. It depends if you have an A or an O, right?
No, it's just
Like
it's
Oscar
not-
de la Hoya
Yeah, it's just
or Del Taco.
what is it about? It's just to like.
Oh,
make
God, you
it
guys are
sound
back.
proper.
Thank God. I was
Well-
having a heart attack. You guys froze. My
Oh.
internet connection is unstable and I'm fucking hardwired in.
All right, so it's not always my fault. I've never had Del Taco, and I think it's hilarious that a lot of people are saying, like, you Republicans shouldn't be allowed to eat tacos anymore because you hate Hispanic people. I'm like, did you realize the taco is an American dish? It was invented in the United States, not in Mexico.
No,
Del Taco's
burrito-
big claim
no.
to fame is you get fries with all your combos.
Burrito is American dish. I think taco is Mexican.
I think tacos are American too. I know the fajita
Yeah,
is Mexican, and oh my god, I
Oh,
love
that's one of
a
my
fajita.
favorite foods, fajitas. I love me a fajita.
Let's be real. Tex-Mex is way better than true, authentic Mexican food.
Yeah.
depends how what you craving.
Oh, you're being biased. You're
I know that,
you're
dude.
going
He's
with
not
your
Mexican.
Hispanic narrative.
I'm not Mexican, dude. I still love. If I still go to Mexican restaurants.
Yeah, but is it Mexican or Tex-Mex? Because
Oh,
most of the stuff you get is usually Tex-Mex. It's
dude, that's
southern.
not even like even Mexican food is not even Mexican food. It's like Chinese food. It's not even Chinese food. You know.
Yes, exactly. Because in most places you go, what they eat is chicken and rice with
You
beans.
want if people don't know what we're talking about, go to New York City downtown, Chinatown. Go get some Chinese food and be like, this is not Chinese. Like, yeah,
I did it in DC. DC is got a big, huge Chinatown area too.
yeah,
so.
it's not the same as like the food is not the same as
You're not getting the general shows at
No,
the
no.
Chinatown.
no.
Oh
you
yeah.
do-
Oh, and
Or
anything
sweet
you
and
get
sour
at Panda,
chicken.
anything you get at Panda Express,
Exactly.
you're not getting in Mexico.
yeah.
Unless you go to a Panda Express, which I don't know if they're in Mexico.
I'm sure they
Yeah,
are.
I don't know if I'm sure they are because I mean they got Five Guys and they got Buffalo Wild Wings in Mexico. You know.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, no, but I'm saying like no, like Chinese food is not like real Chinese food. You know,
Right.
it's all
What
American.
is real Chinese food?
Hmm?
What's real Chinese food?
Oh, you're not.
Depends on where you live. Honestly, China's freaking enormous.
Yeah, that's true. South and North are completely different people.
Well, just look at the food you're gonna eat
They
in
don't even speak the same language.
Cantonese and
yeah,
Mandarin.
Cantonese and Mandarin. Yeah.
Yeah,
But look at the food you'll eat in like Atlanta, Georgia versus like Boston, Massachusetts.
yeah.
And they're on the same coast, you know?
Yeah.
Now now go up to like Seattle, Washington.
Yeah, it's not.
I mean, don't get me wrong, you can still get chicken marsala at any of these places, but that's not the food people sit down and eat for dinner in their homes.
Yeah, they
No.
like you go to Mexican restaurant. I mean, Mexican houses like rice and beans and chicken. That's all you
Yeah,
get.
exactly. Rice and chicken and rice with beans in it. Maybe if you're lucky,
Yeah,
you get some beans. Yeah,
yeah.
you got some hot sauce. Get the hell out of my house.
No, they love hot sauce, dude.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
dude. They're like they
I'm
eat
just
So is
teasing.
Jeffrey. It just doesn't love him.
Yeah, well, I love the hot sauce. I tend to go too spicy, and then I know better though. I've learned my lesson because milk is the way to cure the spice. I am lactose intolerant,
Dude, okay, you wanna trick it out?
so no, it burns 6 times as much up the other
You want
end.
to trick to slice tomato? Like if it's too much, drink tomato.
There's no such thing as too spicy to eat unless it's like a Reaper pepper, I think. But
Coming out the other end, the whole nother
yeah,
story.
exactly. A good buffalo wing should burn twice, right? Maybe 3 times.
Dude,
You might have heartburn for a couple hours.
I was like, when I was single by myself, I was like, I want some chicken wings, but I want it hot, and I ordered some chicken wings down the corner. I was crying, like, yes, this is delicious,
Yeah,
From Pizza
Oh,
Chef?
you wiped your eyes?
Yeah,
Oh!
no, I tear up, like, oh,
We already know how that goes. We know
No,
the end of
no,
this story.
I was fine then. The next day, I had to pay for it. I was fanning my butthole. It was like, God.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and then no matter how soft your 16 ply is, it feels like sandpaper, doesn't it?
Bidet. I do. I'm
He
glad I got a
doesn't do
bidet.
toilet paper.
I love that shit, dude.
Oh, all right.
Anyways, moving on.
Oh, here we go. The Justice Department is dropping the prosecution over Boeing with their 737 issues. I'm not
They've
sure where I stand on
agreed
this.
to a proposition where they're. I think they got to pay a fine.
Okay. Now, it's funny because I saw this article and I didn't bother sharing it. And I was like, yeah, whatever. And then I came across another one. And there's like 6 different companies involved that were dropped from Biden era.
Mm.
And then you shared this one. I was like, yeah, okay, maybe we should talk about it. If Brian brought it up too. But
Yep.
yeah, we're not going to be prosecuting them. And yeah, fine. I'm not sure. I don't know. Like,
I think it
I
has something to do with like the new Air Force One that Qatar has given us is Boeing too.
well, and the ones Trump has being built are Boeing.
They're never going to be built.
No, they're not. Cool. Oh, here we go. Here's another thing that Trump dropped from the Biden administration. Employers no longer have to give you paid time off and all sorts of all this other stuff, benefits, so that you can go have an abortion.
I agree with that.
I agree with that 100%. I mean, it's one thing if it's technically speaking, if it's going to be the mother's going to die, it's not an abortion.
No, it's
So
not. No.
I want people to understand that.
Yeah.
That has a medical term for it. Abortion is we're going to kill this baby. Versus a medical procedure that is most likely going to result in the death of the baby. That's not the same thing.
Yeah.
Like you go in for a quadruple bypass, you may not survive that surgery, but the goal of it isn't to kill you. Versus a lethal injection is designed to kill you.
Yeah.
All right. The news of the week, Brian. What happened in DC?
Oh my word! 2 Israeli diplomats were killed at a Capital Jewish Museum event in DC.
They were a couple.
Yes, they were, and he'd already bought a ring. He was planning on engaging the next week.
Exactly. He had already purchased a ring to get married.
And they were he was gonna propose to her when they were on a trip to Israel.
The guy was arrested immediately, and they brought up charges the next day.
Well, I don't know if
fast.
it wasn't like necessarily immediately. Like the museum staff invited him in and gave him stuff until they realized what was going on.
Yeah, well, apparently, he killed the man first, and then fired at the woman. And he ran out of ammo. He was shooting her on the ground as she was trying to crawl away to save her life. He ran out of ammo, reloaded his weapon, and unloaded again on her.
God damn.
Yes.
He deserves the death penalty.
He absolutely does. And he was arrested right. Okay, I say immediately. Within minutes, he was arrested.
Right.
And when he was arrested, he yelled "Free, free Palestine" over and
Yeah.
over again.
He sure
Th-
did.
This did not help their cause, and you know that.
Mm-mm.
No.
I mean,
Well,
I'm one of
but I mean, we talked. The No Agenda show shocked about this, and they said it was just the way the rhetoric has been going with pro-Palestine and pro-Israel. That this was just a matter of time before violence actually broke out.
I agree, but we'll definitely get into that in a minute. And I'm willing to admit Israel has gone a little extreme in the retaliation. Just
Yeah.
because I in general support Israel, they are blowing up civilians left and right. They really are. But what five? How many people died on October 7th? 700 or something.
Yeah.
500 of them were civilians. So yeah, I'm hoping this guy gets a death sentence. I mean, this could be considered an act of war, couldn't it?
Yep.
Mm.
You're attacking foreign nationals and executing them in public in broad daylight at that.
Yep.
It's only one person. It's not like he had a. I mean, it had to be doing investigation, but I don't think nobody backed them up. Probably by himself, solo,
Probably the FBI.
probably. But
You know what? I hate to say it, but this could have been a pro-Israel group that put this guy up to it to make the pro-Palestine groups look crazy,
a slipper cell or like internal slipper cell.
like a black flag thing.
Yeah.
We're gonna have you come and do something. Here, come do this, and then you lose your entire side, loses all credibility.
Yeah.
Mhm. No, wouldn't
Jeez.
know.
But apparently, he worked for some woke education group backed by the Ford and MacArthur foundations. And his father apparently was invited to this thing by Trump himself.
Damn.
Yeah. So, like, I don't know what makes people think it's okay. Like, hey, look, something's happening in Israel. Let's kill someone born in Arkansas.
Right.
How is that going to further your cause? How is this going to help anything?
Well,
This is-
they were embassy workers, so you know.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That you can't get another embassy worker. Geez, they're going to run out of embassy workers once we kill them all, right?
Yep.
Jesus Christ. And now these leftist groups and lefties in general are supporting this. Here we go. You've got polls to political violence. Democrats don't think it's a good idea. Only Republicans, only people inclined to consume conservative media are now, I think, upwards of 50% say if necessary, violence is okay. Said Nicole Wallace. You know that name?
Yeah. Oh yeah. She's not a Republican.
No, she's an MSNBC host.
Yeah. Who used to be a Republican.
Well, and she says you've only got the conduct on one of the two sides. So,
Which side?
well, she's saying only the right is violent. But
Oh, yeah. Okay.
okay, let's go back to 2016 with the police ambush of the police department in Dallas. Remember that? How
Yeah.
about the congressional baseball shooting?
Yep.
The Tacoma ICE facility firebombing in 19. The Antifa shooting of a Patriot Prayer member in Portland in 2020. Oh, what about the BLM riots of 2020 as well?
All Republican. All right. Right. Every
yeah.
single one of them.
Yeah, exactly right. All the people that died. Well, what about Thomas Crooks, who almost killed Trump?
Died.
My God. It's ridiculous. And then you had the arson of the University of Washington in 2025 already, in May of 25. And that's not even counting these like pop-up protests across college campuses to include Harvard nationwide. And this is another case of left-wing violence. And they're yelling "Free Palestine," and they're saying only the right wing is violent. And you ask them, well, what has the right wing done? And they'll bring up January 6th. It's like, so you have one case,
Right.
and it was 4 years ago.
Yeah.
I just listed like 7.
Not even a strong case.
Yeah, exactly. Not even a strong case. It's ludicrous. Now, here's an example of here's the issue, though. This is a threat of violence, not an actual act of violence. But the guy who was running against Anna Paulina Luna in Florida, William Braddock, he's just been sentenced to 3 years in prison for threatening to kill Luna, but he didn't actually carry out any violence.
Right.
And apparently, the judges who are ruling against Trump right now, they're being barraged with abuse and threats.
Okay. Somebody marking you on Facebook does not mean threats.
Yeah, they're not blowing your fucking house up. They're not burning down the governor of Pennsylvania's house. Oh, I should have mentioned that in my list of shit the left wing did, huh?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is just like, oh, they're making threats. That's terrible. It's like, you guys are killing people and trying to burn their houses down.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this summer is going to be worse than the summer of love, because we saw a handful.
1972.
What?
Summer of Love, 1972.
No, of 2020 at the BLM riots.
Okay.
We saw a handful of deaths there, but they weren't flat out executions in broad daylight. It's crazy. And
Yeah.
no one seems to care. And I have no idea who this woman is. Susan something. I can't even pronounce that name. But she's saying it's no surprise that this oh crap.
Well,
That
it's
this
kind of
attack
what I was
happened in
saying,
DC.
is like the rhetoric has gotten so bad that it's not a surprise. So
Well, she called these people genocide cheerleaders. What genocide is happening? They're not going in there and saying kill all the Palestinians. Some of these Palestinians are being killed because the terrorist groups historically and famously use civilians as
yes,
human shields,
they
right?
do. They do. They're all about the human shields.
Versus what's happening in South Africa, where these people are going onto these people's property, burning their farms down and killing everyone inside the
Right. That's not happening.
housing.
According
Then you
to
got this.
according to the president of South Africa, that's not a thing.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, a lot of murders are happening. They all happen to be white, but it doesn't mean you're only killing white people because they're white. It's like you're
Right.
saying kill the white guy. You sing a song about it.
Yeah. There was the whole stadium was singing a song about it.
Yeah. And where's this guy live? It said it in here earlier. I can't find it. But there's this dude, Guy Christensen. He's telling everyone to support this guy that killed these folks. And he was called out on it, taken off a TikTok because of it, and then doubled down on it. And this idiot's 19 years old wearing a Khalifa. Is that how you pronounce it? The scarf. And first, heads up, this is the whitest dude I've ever seen with blue-green eyes. It's insane. It's insane. I think the only people who are interpreting that is there you go. Those two Zionist officials, and he's basically saying this guy was right. He's saving the world. It's like, dude. In general, I don't think the United States should be getting involved in any of these nations' conflicts. In general, but I'm not going to support an assassin. I mean, like Luigi Mangione thing, right? You say the right wing's violent, but we have how many people wearing freaking Free Luigi shirts and supporting all this other stuff? It's like, no, you are the violent motherfuckers. Oh, you have a shotgun. Yes, I have a shotgun. You threatened to fucking kill me.
Right.
Actually, that's not why I have a shotgun. It will help with that, but I have a shotgun because I have little bears walking through my backyard, you know? Which is interesting because I was talking to a dude I met playing a phone game a couple of years ago. Still keep in touch with him. He's in Texas. And he's got wild boars on his property, wild pigs that come through. And I was like, well, a herd of wild pigs, perfect reason to need more than 6 freaking rounds in your gun.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how much people know about pigs, but they will rip you apart and literally eat you and your bones. And that's what I always hear from these freaking New York and these Boston, these Sacramento Democrats. Like, what do you need 30 rounds for? It's like, I live in the woods. Right. Okay. Like, what happens if I fire off my 6 rounds from my 40 revolver and the bear didn't care? Am I supposed to sit there and reload a revolver?
Right.
And the only reason why I brought up Revolver is because you can always buy a magazine that's bigger, and they don't want you to be allowed to have that.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like I want to bring some of these people out here, and take them out bear hunting. Be like, all right, here's your 6-shooter. Take down that bear. And when they go, how am I going to kill a bear with this? Like, oh, you're not. It's going to kill you. I'm going to stand back here with my AR-15 with 30 rounds in the magazine, plus a shotgun on my back.
Yeah.
Just in case that doesn't stop this monster of an animal. All right. Anyway, speaking more of who's actually being violent here. A woman in Florida beat up a 72-year-old man and
Oh,
then
my
emptied
word.
her beverage on him because he was wearing a MAGA hat.
Oh, yeah, I remember this, seeing this, yeah.
What the hell?
Red hat is, Paul, it's like a huge TDS trigger.
This trigger thing drives me nuts. You mean it offended you? I get offended, not super often because it's hard to offend me, but that doesn't mean I'm going to fucking attack you, right?
I don't see it that way. It's all sensitive.
And we're not giving these people stiff enough sentences. We're really not. These folks have no fear of repercussions if they're going to walk into a museum, a Jewish museum, and exterminate the Jews. As they're calling people Nazis.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Insane.
Am I the only one who sees the irony here? And actually, the View has gotten so bad with their rhetoric against Trump and Trump supporters. To include, that Disney has told them to tone down the Trump rhetoric because we're tired of being sued. And what's her name? Is it Rachel Ziegler? That was Snow White.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
She said she hopes Trump supporters don't get a minute of rest.
Mm-hmm.
So could you imagine if someone came out and said the same thing about Democrats? How fast they would be in jail? Or, gee, I don't know. I bet you this woman who beat up a 72-year-old dude and then poured her drink on him. I bet she gets a slap on the wrist and maybe a fine. This guy might be disabled for the rest of his life because he's an old man that you beat up.
Well, he can sue her.
Ooh, wonderful. She probably has like $42 to her name.
Fuck it, let her suffer.
I'm telling you, man, this is why people carry guns these days. It's because these assholes who are screaming, you shouldn't be allowed to have a gun. It's like, that's because you want to beat me up on the side of the road. You know?
Exactly.
No, you come and attack me. I'll fight back fist to fist until I think I'm not going to win this fight and I'm going to be hurt, maimed, or killed. Then I'm going to shoot you.
Yeah.
And no, I don't want to shoot you. I really don't. But I'm not going to let you beat me to death with you and your 3 buddies.
Right.
Because I wore a baseball cap that was red. You're like, what if it was a Boston Red Sox hat and you just didn't notice it because you came up from behind me and hit me with a fucking brick in the back of the head?
Right.
Like, it's a Red Sox hat, you douche nozzle.
Not something to kill somebody over or give them permanent brain damage over.
Even a Trump hat's not something to do that over.
No.
It's just, oh my God. And I'm tired of hearing it's the right wing that's violent. Like, when the right wing does get violent, they're much more efficient, and that's a dangerous thing. Like your McVeighs, Timothy McVeigh.
Mm-hmm.
He was the one in Oklahoma City, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But we see in this left-wing violence popping up all over the country. It's not happening here in West Virginia. There are some Democrats here, but they know better than to go ahead and attack someone because, well, they know everyone's carrying a weapon.
Right.
Just like people aren't breaking into houses around here because they know on the other side of that door is a gun waiting for them to come into their house.
Yeah.
And the idea, and that's the best part. You don't actually have to fire a shot. The crime doesn't happen because you know that there's a weapon.
There's some cities out west that you're required to own a gun.
Kennesaw, Georgia, head of household must own a firearm because there's not enough police force. Lowest crime rate in the nation.
Yeah.
Because you know is a fact.
Crime doesn't pay when there's lots of guns.
Exactly. You know, it's a fact that there's a gun on the other side of that door. All right. Let's move on to speaking of violence and force, right into the
Mhm.
military.
Right.
You hear about this freaking Navy tech? He was an ET2. When I read Navy tech, I was thinking he was some civilian.
No.
No, he was an electronics technician, second class petty officer.
Oh,
Did you share this article or did I?
I
I
did.
might have. Okay.
We
Want to
might
tell
have
me about
both
it?
of them. Yeah, this guy called in a fake bomb threat when he was on the Hawaiian Airlines flight from San Diego to Hawaii, and he was arrested for it.
Yeah, and
'Cause
I
it
know the three.
severely delayed the flight. Everybody had to be evacuated. Bomb dogs had to show up and, investigate. They got to take it seriously. The plane was literally on the runway ready to take off when the bomb threat came in.
Well,
Was
and
it
I know
the
the three of us know it, but not everyone realizes double jeopardy does not apply to enlisted.
no?
This man can be charged by the Navy
In the
and
court
the federal government.
And they more
under
than likely will
UCMJ,
be.
Exactly.
under
And not only is he,
UCMJ, not the federal government.
was that?
Under UCMJ, not the federal government.
Well, I'm just saying that the Navy can charge him with the UCMJ,
Yeah,
exactly, and then
yeah,
the federal
yeah,
government can charge him with calling in a bomb threat.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
not only is he going to get hit with the crimes against the UCMJ, he's also going to get nailed with being
An
I
idiot.
almost said UA. I almost said AWOL.
Hmm.
For
Yeah,
being
if you don't have enough leave days stayed up, while he's in jail, unless
even
his
if you do have
command
enough,
agrees to it, he will eventually run out of days and, you know,
even if you do
it-
have enough leave days, you need to get this stuff signed off weeks in advance, right? You can't
yeah,
just call in sick and say I have paid leave, right?
maybe the new Navy. I don't know about my Navy.
That's a good point. I had to file paperwork and I would do it at least a month in advance. So I knew as a fact that I got that spot instead of someone else in my division. So
Yeah.
I could go on vacation. This next one, I'm not sure where I stand on it. A pair of Navy SEALs are being investigated for by DRB, Disciplinary Review Board,
Yep.
Hmm.
for racist memes that they made and published about a black sailor in their unit.
Right.
Now,
And the black sailor had given up being a SEAL because of this.
well, I think that was the whole
Well,
point.
yeah, then
Honestly,
it
the
should not be a
hazing's a
steal.
huge.
You cannot take a fucking words. What make you think you can take
Exactly.
bullets?
Exactly. The SEALs are the highest dropout rate of any military unit in the United States, and hazing is a huge part of it. If you can't handle a little hazing, and
Yeah.
they said mean things about me, it's like those dudes are gonna cut your fucking tongue out and shove it up your own ass so you can taste your own asshole. Now, don't get me wrong. This is inappropriate,
Right.
Mhm.
but I don't think they should necessarily being charged just simply because it's the SEALs. Where do
Yeah.
you stand, Brian?
I think, I know what you're saying. I'm from the older generation by far where sticks and stones may break your bones, but names will never hurt you. But
Pee Wee Herman used to say that.
yeah. And then he went to the movie theater.
Yeah, then he went to a. By the way, shouldn't it be against a lot of jerk off in a porno theater?
Yeah.
Is that why? Isn't that why people go there?
The porn.
No,
Peter,
they go for the storyline.
Oh, they go
for the,
okay.
the script of the movie.
I really want to see what happens in the sequel. What happens in Sex Trek: The Next Penetration?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god! You know what? I bet you that's a real movie because that sounds like a perfect name for a porno, doesn't it?
Yeah. Let me go look it up on IMDb.
Have fun with all the spam you're gonna get for 6 months for that one too. But yeah, I understand that it's inappropriate, but most of what the SEALs do is inappropriate. They beat these guys.
Mhm.
They literally drown these dudes before they're allowed to become SEALs.
Yeah.
I was
I don't know if
stationed in Coronado, California.
And by the way, these guys were in are in Hampton
Little Creek.
Roads.
Yes, they are. That's one of the reasons why I popped up.
I almost said Norfolk, which would have been a mistake anyway for me to say that out loud. But they're not in Norfolk anymore because Obama gave away their location. Remember?
The article says Little Creek, so
Oh, so okay. Well, oh, that's a mistake too. We're not supposed to tell people we're keeping our seals for training.
Everybody knows, dude. Even the fucking everybody knows by now.
I know. You see the guy with the freaking giant beard with an active duty ID for the Navy. Like, I know what you do.
Yeah. Well,
Which
hold up,
I
dude. There's military people that can have beer nows and stuff.
Who?
oh no, they got rid of the no shave chits for black folk.
No, one of my boys, white, he got a beard now.
How?
No shade shit. I
How,
don't know
how
how
do
you
you get?
got it. Huh?
I wonder how he got that because they got rid of it for black folk because that used to be a thing with the razor bumps.
No, he got one. He got a beard. Like, hold on, you still in, dude? Like, yeah. Yeah, he got a
Look,
nice. You have to keep it nice and trim. That's the thing, you know.
well, I mean, I remember on deployment we were allowed to buy no shave chits. It was $1 a
Mhm.
day, but
Yeah.
they told us all right there when you signed up for it, bought it. They're like, okay, it's your fault if your SCBA, sustained, self-contained breathing apparatus, firefighting gear,
Yeah,
doesn't
Yeah.
seal to your face.
but this guy's aviation, so you don't have to worry about that shit.
And and then as soon as you pull in the port, you gotta
You gotta shave
Clean
it.
shaven.
it's over. You're shaving again.
Mhm.
Yep. Yeah, I would shave anyway. I would buy a no shave chit. I would grow some, 3 or 4 days, and I would shave it off, let it go 3 or 4 days. For the exact reason of there's no way I'm going in to fight a fire and my gear is not going to
Well,
seal
I
to
didn't have
my
to worry about
face.
that, so I let my beard grow wild.
Well, I was in repair division. I was fire marshal in port on duty. You know,
Yeah.
it's funny actually. We were teaching the daughter, my 5-year-old, how to count by tens just today,
Mm.
and I got frustrated.
No, it is.
Well, the wife looks at it, to her and says, "Don't worry, Daddy's used to training adults in the military.
Right.
It's completely different.
Yes,
It's
it
not the same as
is.
teaching a kid." And
No.
she's like, I remember going onto the ship on his duty days to have dinner with him, and he would be like, "Sorry, can't eat. We got to run this drill again." And then I would run the
Right.
drill 3 or 4 times for import duty section,
Yeah.
the fire drill, whatever. And she's like, "Why are you doing this?" I'm like, "It's not gonna be my fault. We lose the fucking ship in port, you know."
Right.
See, I'd rather my duty section hate me than have a fire get out of control. We got to call in another ship and then the fire department,
Yeah, like in San Diego.
like we keep seeing happen now. This next story, Brian, you shared, I'm curious, is this the same one we talked about on Tuesday?
Maybe. I was drunk on Tuesday, so I don't know.
How drunk were you?
I'm pretty drunk. I'm pretty drunk
Oh.
now. I've been drinking since like 9 o'clock this morning, as a matter of fact.
God damn, must be nice.
I was golfing in the morning and I was sailing.
You
in
were
the
golfing?
afternoon. Yeah.
Damn, thanks for letting me know. At least I could be like, I can't. I gotta work.
It was a golf tournament at the VFW,
Mm-hmm.
and one of my Navy buddies had signed up, and he couldn't make it to a family emergency, and so I got put in his place.
Nice. Did you
So-
get it or what?
I got a trophy, worst team,
Nice.
and
Hey,
I also won a drawing for a $500 driver. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it yet.
you want it?
I won it, yeah. I got
Dude,
I got to
let's-
order a
we-
$500 driver.
Now we have to go to Tough Golf.
I don't know if you can bring your own gloves to Top Golf.
I think you can. I don't know.
You only won a driver, not a whole bag of clubs.
No, I want a driver. Well, I kind of want a bag of clubs too, because one of the other VFW members, her husband passed away like last Saturday.
Oh,
That's
She
too
heard me
bad.
talking about it, about needing clubs for the tournament. So she's like, "You want his clubs?" So I actually got his clubs to play with for the tournament.
Wow.
And it's crazy because the guy I ended up being teamed up with at last minute, he was playing with his dad's brother-in-law's clubs.
Oh,
wow.
jeez.
So we were playing with dead people's clubs and doing the best we could with what we had to work with.
That's good.
It was a lot of fun.
You should call the
Funny,
team.
like-
You should call the team the Grateful Death.
We were the
Grateful Dead.
Expendables
Yeah.
was our team name.
What
There you
was
go.
it?
The Expendables.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Last time I played golf, I used my deceased grandfather's clubs.
Mm.
And check this out: the irons were actually made of iron, and the woods were actually made of wood.
Right.
Oh, dude, it felt so good to swing them, though. It really did.
Yeah. But I didn't think I'd have as much fun as I did doing that, but I did. So
That's good.
I enjoy playing golf.
You guys
and it's
walked
not.
or like got a
we
car?
had a car. Car was
Oh.
included in it.
No,
So
that's nice.
I'm cool with the cart, but if I'm only doing 9 holes, I'd rather walk and carry my
this
bag.
was 18 holes we played
Yeah.
together.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Then yeah.
But the thing is, I'm not even an avid golfer, and I'm not
I'm not either.
particularly good.
It's probably been 40 years since I played. It's probably since
Yeah.
I was pretty much active duty that I play golf.
But let's be real, man. It's a good reason to get out of the house,
Yeah.
spend an entire day out, enjoying the weather. Last time I played, I had like 3 beers playing 9 holes, and I smoked a cigar.
I played we played 18 holes and I drank 4 beers. I
Yeah.
started at like 9 o'clock in the morning drinking beer.
Dude, you know what? It's funny you guys mentioned this. Like now you understand why people golf. Like, you know what? Yeah, let me get out. You find
Let me get
excuses
a
to get out of
beer.
the house. Yeah, just to get out of the
That's
house.
exactly what it is, though. That's
Yeah,
how
it
most people
is.
get into golf. It's a good way to just enjoy the day
Yeah.
and not think about anything else. But let's be real, it's the most frustrating game on the planet.
Hell
Yeah.
That ball never
I
lands where you
could
want it
not
to.
hit that ball to save my life today. So
It's funny because
we used my bus ball like probably 5 times out of 18 holes.
yeah. It's interesting because last time I played, there was this dog leg on like hole 5 or something, and everyone hits out, and I mean it's a par 4 because you got to go out and then around. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, how high do you think those trees are?
Exactly.
And my buddy's like, what? And I was like, how high do you think they are? You think they're 80 feet maybe? So yeah, I was like, and what? The fairway is probably like 10 feet past that. So we're talking about like 90 yards from here,
Yeah.
80 feet up. I was like, I bet I can get over this shit with my 7-iron.
Nice.
My buddy Bill Sullivan was like,
No, you can't.
I'd like to. He's like, no way, but I'd love to see it. And I actually hit it just right. It went up, boop, boop. Dude. I actually
Nice.
hit that. I got a birdie on that hole, and I was excited. I was like,
Yeah.
I got a stroke off.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Normally, I'm like a bogey or a double bogey.
Yeah.
All right, you guys mentioned this Air Force 16.
I think, like you said, I think we talked about it on Tuesday's
Okay.
show.
Wasn't sure it was
where
the same.
It was this drone was flying in restricted airplay space in Arizona, and it hit F-16.
And this was apparently over a year ago.
Okay.
I didn't even realize that until I
I
opened the
thought it was
article. I was like, oh,
recently.
I'm pretty sure.
You could be right.
I think because I gave it a quick read and I was like, oh, 2023. There you go.
Okay. Well, I'll take it out of
No,
the.
it
Let's get
just-
rid of it.
Well, no, that's because it finally made it into someone's going to investigate something and it's in the
Okay.
news all of a sudden, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Check this shit out. Since the first time since WWII,
Yep.
Germany is going to permanently deploy troops beyond their own borders.
Thanks to Trump.
Thanks to Trump.
Yep.
Europe, you handle this.
Yep.
I want to say
He's
Lithuania.
definitely saying that it's up to Europe to handle more European matters, in their neck of the woods and not NATO. So
Yeah. This is they're going to be dispatched into Vilnius. It's the capital city of Lithuania. So I don't know, man. Germany hasn't done this because they've been told they're not allowed to by the United
Right.
States, right?
yeah, Yep.
Just like Japan is now building up a military for the first time since World War II because the United States said, no, you're not allowed to have a military at all.
Right.
And look how successful Japan has been economically in the world since then, and Germany.
Yep.
For what? The
Germany
only
is better when they had nuclear power.
Yes, but I mean, look at the German cars, dude. Let's be real. They make some sweet rides, don't they?
They don't make the Tesla truck though.
No, but they make the BMW, the Volvo, and right there, both of those are like quality vehicles. Let's be real.
Have you ever seen anything actually hauled in a Tesla truck?
No.
I've seen a trailer hooked up to one before, and I brought it up here before. I think the biggest selling point of a Tesla Cybertruck is the battery.
Okay.
You could literally plug your house into that thing and run your house for like 2 days
Nice.
from a full charge.
Uh-huh.
It's a heavy vehicle, stainless steel, like the freaking DeLorean. You
I
know,
just think it looks stupid.
they do look stupid.
I mean,
But people,
they could have called it anything else, but it ain't no fucking truck.
yeah, you could have given it a better name because there's no bed.
Right. The bed is
And
hidden inside the trunk. You know, you got to open
yeah,
up the trunk to get to the bed.
yeah. Well, that okay. So I want to buy some lumber from
Right.
Lowe's. Where how am I
Exactly.
going to fit these 16-foot boards in the bed of my Cybertruck?
You got to open the hood, the
Yeah,
trunk, and shove them in.
does it come off or does it just stay open? Like
It stays open. You got to
yeah.
bungee
So
it down.
you like the schmuck with piping sticking out the back window of your car because
Yep.
it's at the front window of the opposite side of your car,
Exactly.
and everyone driving the other way is going, "What the fuck? Getting out of the way!"
Totally good example.
So I got an excellent laugh out of this one.
Oh yeah, we both shared this article.
Oh my god, Kim
Did
Jong
you see
Un.
the satellite imagery of it?
I did, but though okay,
It's
they
everybody else's fault. He had nothing to do with it.
yes, he blamed all of his engineers and everyone involved. They went
Probably
to
they're probably
launch.
all dead now.
Yes, exactly. They went to launch a new destroyer, I believe,
Yeah.
because they want to modernize their navy, right?
Yep.
Upon being launched into the ocean,
Yep.
it capsized and sank.
They ran aground. It did all kinds of shit. You know.
Well, here's the
There's a
best
lot of
part.
damage to it.
Here's the best part. Is this the second one in a row that this happened to? How much did this cost? How much less food did your average North Korean get now? Because you keep sinking destroyers as soon as you build them.
Right.
Oh my goodness. You know who does seem more qualified though than any of these militaries we brought up right now is Fleet Week is in New York. That's where the
Yep.
Mexican ship smacked into the Brooklyn Bridge.
Yep.
But just the other day, this happened a week later. A boat blew up on the Hudson River in Fleet Week.
Wow.
One are dead, two are injured. It turns out to be a hot work incident.
Hot work. We don't know anything about that.
I know all about hot work.
When I was when my carrier was in the shipyard on the West Coast, the Carl
You probably sat
Vinson.
there with your thumb in your ass in a
Oh
soda.
hell yeah, man! I got sent TAD to hot work. It was the best fucking TAD job I've ever had in my life.
Oh, dude, we had tons of
I
guys
was
that would
on
sign
third
up.
shift. I got to live in the barracks. And when my division tried to call me back, it's like I said, "Fuck you! I'm liking it here better." They're
Yeah,
like,
I'm gonna sit here and watch this guy weld to make sure he doesn't burn the ship down, right?
They brought me back anyway. They said, "You got it too good. If you're thinking it's better than being a photographer." Because if you were waiting for a welder to come along at night, you were just sleeping on the fucking benches and stuff. You know, I could get like 8 or 9 hours of sleep while at work.
Well, because you guys didn't do fire watch for civilians, you did it for the enlisted guys, and the enlisted
No,
guys
we did
worked
it for
daytime hours.
back on that shipyard. We were doing it for civilians too.
All right, the civilians when I was in dry dock had their own fire watches.
No, back in the day, it probably has changed now, but back in the day, they had a whole division of. We were working with all the civilian welders, so.
Now, I will say that I think it's a good idea to rotate these guys out a little bit because at
They
one
don't get
point,
burned out.
no, they get burned out freaking sitting there watching someone weld. I know these dudes got so comfortable at nothing ever happening that they wouldn't pay attention. And I remember once I was literally on fire.
And they didn't notice.
My coveralls were on fire. And I was like, all right, well, I'm almost finished my beat. I don't want to stop, grind out the stop, get ready for a new start, all that stuff. So I would just shout, it was like, I'm on fire, I'm on fire. After like the third time, I finally, stopped my welds and put the fire out. I look at my fire watch. He was asleep in the corner. Oh no, I was furious because I ended up getting
I'm
burned
sure
pretty
you
bad.
almost died.
I got burned pretty bad,
Yeah.
and I had to buy a new uniform. And I actually reported that one up the chain of command. I was like, my fire watch fell asleep. I caught on fire, and he just laid there sleeping.
Yeah.
Because I
No,
was
on
expecting him.
Firewatch, I only slept before I was actually on Firewatch. I would sleep in the basically
the job
ready room
seriously.
area, you know.
Yeah, take the job seriously because if something does
Yeah.
go wrong, you are the first line of defense before someone gets hurt.
Yep,
But
definitely.
I remember being furious. I was like,
Oh,
"Are
I'm
you
sure.
kidding me? All you do is sit here and
Yeah.
do nothing, but you decide to
Couldn't
go to
do it.
sleep."
Couldn't do it.
Yeah, I was like, I just want you to do the fire extinguisher to put the fire out, and then I'll just keep working, finish my
Yep.
weld.
Yep.
And I know that sounds stupid, but not everyone understands how to weld pipe, and it is a lot of work to set up the beginning of your weld. So you don't, and then if you stop it the wrong way, you have to grind out where you stopped because you got oxygen into your weld. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I vividly remember that because I went nuts, started kicking stuff and screaming. I kicked the cylinder down the
Yeah. Oh,
P-way.
definitely.
But check this out. A propane tank blew up in Florida at a strip mall down in the Miami-Dade area.
How many strippers were hurt?
I don't think that's what they mean by strip mall.
Okay.
Yeah, 10 people were hospitalized. Open up that article and have a look at the freaking photograph, dude. You'll crap your pants. My cars are destroyed. So it seems like these guys are better at blowing shit up than the military is.
Right.
All right. And I was going to put the plane that wrecked over San Diego in here, but
We
nah,
didn't? I thought I shared it.
it's in leftovers. I was going to put it in with stuff blowing up, but let's go ahead and talk about that. 6 people were in a private aircraft. Must have been a decent plane because it was flying from Jersey to St.
Well, they refueled in Wichita, Kansas.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah. But it
Wrecked
crashed in a Navy housing area.
Of course it did, right? Of course it lived in it. And luckily, everyone was at school or work.
No, they weren't. It was 4 a.m. when it crashed.
Yeah, I know. But looks like only the 6 people on board died.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And it was musicians.
Right.
No, that's
Like this is a whole nother the day the music died thing,
Yeah.
Did you see the cars, dude? The houses? The wreckage from that plane crash?
No.
I'm amazed no one else died. Truly, they hit a dude's house, I think, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
They barely got out alive. They were jumping the fence in the backyard to get away from the plane crash. He says he can't move back there after this. They're looking for a new place to live permanently.
Yeah, might get out
Before
of the service
before
altogether.
that, they loved living in the flight plan because they would go on their back porch and just watch the planes land. And now a plane landed on them.
Yeah. I mean, that's. Did he have kids?
Yeah, there were kids involved.
Jeez, I can't imagine what I would do. Realistically, I could picture myself literally throwing my children over a
They
fence.
pretty much did. And
Yep,
then
to get them
the
out of here.
neighbors brought a ladder and they got their dogs over too, so
Oh, that's awesome.
everybody was saved. But I'm sure at 4 a.m., that's not how you want to be woken up.
No, and there's no way you're sleeping through that, right?
No.
Oh my God, that must have been terrible, especially for the poor children.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that this Navy guy necessarily has experience with shit blowing up, but at least he's trained how to respond, right?
Right.
Which is probably the reason why his family survived. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Like, don't panic. Orderly fashion. We need to egress here, and they probably had a muster point too, and you know that.
Probably.
I have egress plans for my family should stuff happen, and a muster point. When that tree fell in my front yard, I was like, all right, we need to have plans in place in case this actually hits the house next time,
Okay.
That's my 5-year-old and my 2-year-old. Let's talk about this 4-year-old in school.
Yep.
Got sent home just before school ended. Actually, not even sent home, sent to the hospital.
She got everybody drunk.
Well, yeah. The teacher apparently fed this kid booze to the point this child was non-responsive and frothing at the mouth.
That's a problem.
Kid had a 0.29 BAC.
I might have that now, but I'm an adult.
How long have you been drinking tonight?
Since 9 o'clock this morning.
Okay, you might have a 0.29. But a 0.29, man, like that's 3 times the legal limit to drive.
Right.
And it's in a 4-year-old?
Yeah. That definitely is a CPS involved investigation.
Yeah, that's you better hope the police handle this before the parents do, right?
Yep.
And check this out. A bus driver said to this first grader, 6 years old, I want to say,
Mm-hmm.
6 years old, uh, cookies and all this garbage. I don't care about your cookies. Anyway, the bus driver said, I'm tired of you, or something like that. Or, my God, I don't want your fucking cookies.
Mhm.
But the bus driver said something along the lines of, I don't, you're getting on my nerves, or
Right.
I don't want you around. Oh, you know what? I'm sick and tired of you. And then grabbed this kid, drug her off the bus, half a mile from her house in the rain, and drove away.
Wow. I'm sure they don't have a job anymore.
Not just no job, they might be going to prison.
Yep.
My kid, there was a substitute driver driving my kid home from
Mhm.
preschool the other day. He missed our house on the way by. Just boom, bomb. Worst part is he waved at me going by because I was out there waiting to pick her up.
Uh-huh.
I ran inside. I was like, babe, call whoever you need to call. Bus just bombed by, didn't drop her off. And she's like, what? I was like, just do whatever you gotta do. I'm gonna go stop
Right.
this. I'm gonna go stop this bus because it has to turn around and come back.
Uh-huh.
Uh, I loaded my fucking shotgun. And no, I didn't point it at the bus. There's no way I'm gonna stand in the middle of the road pointing shotgun at a school bus.
Right.
But I had the strap across my shoulder with it on my back.
Yeah.
And I stood in front of the bus, and the bus, comes to a stop. I was like, what's the matter? I was like, where's my daughter? He's like, oh, is this your kid? I was like, are you kidding me? You're freaking out on me because you
Right.
just have an extra kid on your bus, and you're surprised someone's yelling at you.
It's
Now, I
West
can't
Virginia.
imagine.
He should be used to it.
Oh no, he was cool. He didn't just run me over like most people would,
Right.
But yeah, this versus a bus driver just drops a kid up, says, I'm tired of you, and tosses you off the bus. Luckily,
Well,
the neighbor
like
was picking up their mail and found the kid. I was like, oh my God, let's help you.
what the hell the kid was doing too. Like honestly, like I mean, just
What
have to
could
say
a
some kids.
6-year-old be doing that's going to make you drop her off in the middle and
Dude, you see
dump her
this
on the
fucking
side of the
kids
road?
nowadays, dude. Like God damn, like I want to like
Your kids are the worst, huh?
no, my kids, other people's kids. My kids know how to fucking behave. Like I tell them, like whenever they finish eating, they have to ask me, it's like, can we get up? Can we be excused from the table? You
No.
know. But some of these fucking kids, like God damn, they got mouth on them.
That's fine. You still don't just dump them on the side of the road and
No.
drive away.
No.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, just
Your responsibility as a school bus driver is to get them home safely and get them
then
to school
you know what?
safely.
They should report this. They need to report kids. Like, look, this fucking kid's annoying. Like being rude. I don't know what the kid's saying. Like, that's not like so much shit you could take as an adult too. Like, what the kids
No, but
supposed to say?
even if the kid's running their mouth, you don't
Yeah.
dump them on the road. The
No,
only reason why,
never.
the only
No,
thing
no,
I could
that's not a
say,
thing.
the only thing I can see being reasonable at all is if the kid's like covering the bus driver's eyes and hitting the bus driver or striking other students, and then you don't even dump them off the side of the road. You call the police.
Yep.
And you sit and wait for the police to arrive. You don't abandon a 6-year-old on the side of the road in the rain.
Right.
Again, you're lucky the police are handling this and not the kid's parents,
Dude,
right?
did it? Hold on. Didn't that fucking kid just shit that teacher like in first grade, second grade?
Do what?
The kid that shot the teacher in Newport News.
Oh, that was a while ago. But
yeah.
yeah,
So like, come on.
the parents are serving time for that right now.
Okay, but I'm saying like the behavior of the kid is representative of the parents.
Yes, and again, the kid draws a gun. You don't just drawing a gun's a little different.
But
Maybe if you
okay,
kick him off the
why
bus.
does the kid have a gun and why he got to get such?
That's
What was the temperament?
What that turned out to be was the parents didn't properly secure their weapons.
Oh, so
Yep.
just because the kid's angry, he's allowed to like shoot the fucking teacher?
No,
Like-
absolutely not. The parents are
No, the
responsible.
thing
That's
is
100%
the
certain.
behavior of the kid. We had to like whenever they say like oh, a
The
man should
children are
not
a
hit a
reflection of
woman.
you.
The man should not hit a woman. Like okay, what happened to that person had to get to that point? You know?
Okay, I'm going to quote Bill Burr on this one.
All
Yeah.
right.
A man should never hit a woman. Okay, I come home from work and I got 3 kids. She's drowned 2 in the bathtub, and she's got the 3rd one underwater. Yeah, I'm gonna kick her in the head as hard as I can.
Yeah, but I
Right?
said like, what I
No,
want to
that's
know.
okay to
I
hit a
mean,
woman in that case.
yeah, it's wrong. The person kicked the kid out, but I not want to know what happened. Like, what got to the point? Investigate? You know?
Again, unless the kid had a weapon and was attacking people,
Yeah,
the
I know,
polish
but I
they should have
said,
just pulled over and called the cops.
yeah, but I
Or
just,
even file a proper report and have the kid kicked off the bus. Hey, you know what, parents, you gotta drive your kid to and from school now.
yeah,
This is flat out child abuse. Uh, I just don't see any way that this is the right option. Again, unless the kid had a weapon, but at that point, you evacuate the bus. You don't. If you can kick the kid off the bus, the kid obviously wasn't that big of violent threat, right?
Right.
I'm sorry, it just infuriates me, man. Like it. 99% of the time, it's not the kid's fault when they're acting up. It's their parents' fault, one way or another, right?
Yeah.
Bad parenting.
they're not. They don't teach proper manners. Instead of like, hey, look, you're gonna be the bus. Sit there, quiet. Get to your stop. Get the fuck out. Like, it just,
My 2-year-old says, "Thank you, Daddy."
yeah, that's
But
like,
I give no. That's what I'm saying. I'm teaching my kid proper manners.
yes, what I'm saying. Sometimes the parents like, oh, you have to excuse my kids because it's a kid. Like, what the fuck they doing to get so like people angry? You know, it's like not
Yeah.
manners.
What are
To
you
me.
doing at home that this kid thinks that this is okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
What?
the person that did it is wrong, but I want to get to the bottom. Like, what happened to this kid? Like, you know, like why this particular kid? Like, why he did? Like, he didn't do it with other kids. Like,
What? In terms of no, let's assume it's nonviolent. Just for the sake of conversation, what could possibly make you drop a kid off on the side of the road and drive away?
yeah,
How? What do they have to say? Are they dropping N bombs? Okay, they're mean. Sticks and
yeah.
stones, right?
Typical single mother. The kid is there, and there's her mother, and no father figure.
Probably because
No, that's what I watch in the news right now.
no, there you go. Because typically speaking, fathers bring discipline to the household, and
Yeah,
mothers bring in empathy.
empathy and compassion, and
Yeah,
you know,
but again, I'm the disciplinarian in this house. You know, I'm the one who lays down the rules. Like, no, you done screwed up. You got 4 warnings. That's more than I ever got. My eldest though, my 5-year-old, she's as hard headed as I was. My father could warn me 100 times not to put the fork in the outlet. I had to learn it the hard way. And I remember specifically, he's like, fine, you don't seem to listen to me. Go ahead and see what happens. you know? Oh, and the lights all went out. All right. Anyway, back on topic of education.
Yep.
Tim Walls has called out RFK Jr. on the children's health thing.
Right.
About how they're cutting funding to education, basically.
Right.
And he brought up his nonverbal autistic son. And he's like, "Oh, you're just saying they're worthless." Like, first of all, RFK Jr.'s son was the one who said something how they're never going to pay taxes, they're never going to, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They're never going to contribute to society, which
Yeah.
is pretty rough, right?
Yeah, but accurate.
Not necessarily. Just because you're autistic doesn't mean you can't be the richest man on the planet, Elon Musk. But he said it's just blatantly false. And all I can think of was talking about children in school and using the term blatantly false. Tim Walz is the one who put tampons in the boys' room
Yeah.
because some boys menstruate.
No boys, that's great.
Yes, exactly. They're essentially saying there's no such thing as a tomboy with this argument, you know? Like, oh no, that's really a boy. No, I remember a couple years ago, like, just because he plays with a Barbie doll doesn't mean he's gay. Now it means he's a girl. And just like when Claire came out to me and said, "Hey, I'm trans," first response I came back with was, "Well, that's a long way to go to not have to admit you're gay."
Right. And I invited her on the show tonight. She almost said she was coming, but didn't show up at the last minute. So I'll just keep plugging away at it.
I mean, she could just say, "I'm not interested," you know?
Oh, she said she was definitely interested.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If she doesn't want to come on, that's fine. Like, we'll just stop bothering you, right?
Right, exactly.
But again, on the transgender thing, let's move on to this Britain teacher.
All right.
She's the strictest head teacher. And she claimed that transgender children are more likely to be white and privileged. And all I could think was, so you're pushing for this white privilege thing that everyone says is a terrible, terrible thing.
Yeah.
I thought we weren't supposed to indulge these delusions.
Nah, but everybody does.
Well, if it's white privilege that's letting these people get away with it, maybe we should stop doing it, right?
Yeah.
And again, this is the difference between RuPaul. Okay, you know RuPaul.
Yeah.
If RuPaul was a kid today, RuPaul would be trans. Because the
Yeah.
school would have beaten it into this dude's head. Like, no, you're actually a girl because you like to have sex with men and you like to dress up as a woman sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like, no, the dude's just a gay man who likes to do drag shows.
Or it could be straight just to do drag show. You never know.
I've actually done a drag show as a straight dude before, and it was hilarious. And I remember once, what's that barbecue joint right near you, Brian?
Kind of girl.
County Grill. I went there for a Halloween costume contest once. And I went as the prom queen.
Nice.
Wore the wife's dress. I wore her tiara from high school. Big giant heeled boots. It was hilarious. That
Right.
doesn't mean I'm a woman because I thought it would be funny to dress up as a girl for the night. You know what I mean? Especially because I had the big beard going. You know? Hey, I'm the prom queen.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah,
Oh, I
yeah.
remember I found the fattest dude, big giant black dude. And not really, but like it looked like I was giving this dude a lap dance, but they played music for me. And
Right.
he was laughing his ass off, but embarrassed at the same time.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should have won that contest, but I wasn't a regular, so I didn't.
You were robbed.
But that's the thing, though. It was in good fun as an
Yeah.
adult, not children. You know. Well, apparently Trump has blocked Harvard from bringing in foreign students now, and he's threatened a bigger crackdown right now.
Yeah, and Harvard's suing the Trump administration again. So
What does Harvard understand? They don't have a right to do these things. They need to get paperwork from the United States to do this.
right.
So I don't see the problem here. Like, no, your paperwork's been revoked. You know, it's crazy to me. And then they throw around the term constitution all the time. It's like, show me where in the Constitution that says you can import people from foreign nations into our country. Because I am certain it doesn't say
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Actually, what I can tell you is I know as a fact it says you can't. But these folks, and this is like AP News and like Reuters and these like big deal news networks are coming out and saying like it's unconstitutional. Like, did you read the damn thing?
Nope.
Like my sister, I remember this conversation I had with her once when we were much younger. Said something about what happened to church separation of church and state. And
There's no such thing.
Yeah, I specifically said, I was like, I keep hearing that. Where does everyone get it from? And she goes, the Constitution.
It's not in the Constitution.
Yeah. Same time, my father and I were both like, no, it's not. It's not in there. The only thing, and they were even trying to cite the First Amendment. And I was like, the
No.
First Amendment simply says the United States shall not form an official religion for the United States.
Right.
It doesn't say, what's that Catholic school that wanted to get government funding? And like, oh no, there's a separation of church and state. And I was like, that doesn't mean that you can't give a school government funding if everyone else gets it. Especially when you got Harvard indoctrinating people with their freaking woke cult religion, you know?
Yep.
Yeah. And now what happened in Colombia with their flat out attacking Jewish students. It's been
They're going to go the way of Harvard.
Yeah, they're actually in a large role. They're being hit with civil rights laws for indifference to attacking people because of their religion or their ethnicity. Like the school just let it happen.
Right.
All right. Well, we got some leftovers. Any of them in particular you want to talk about, Brian?
Oh, there's a couple here.
Gail King, I'm sure is on the top of your list.
Gail King is going to quit CBS after 15 years.
Yeah,
The
did you read
networks
this?
have moved away from her.
Did you read the article by any chance?
Yeah.
That's all right if you didn't. She's not really quitting. She's being fired.
Yes.
She's just going to quit before her contract runs out because she only signed a
Right.
1-year extension.
Yeah.
And CBS said, like, we just can't justify this ridiculous paycheck we're giving you.
Yeah, exactly.
Remember, she's an astronaut, though.
But I like the title of the article has nothing to do with the actual content of the article. You know.
Of course not. And I gotta say, it is ridiculous how much money some of these nut jobs on the news make on mainstream media.
Uh huh.
Why? Why does what Gail King? What I want to say, $25 million a year.
To go to
What is?
space.
What's that?
To go to space.
Yeah, I'm sorry, $10 million a year. My mistake. It's Rachel Maddow that's making like, isn't she still getting like 50 million or something, or 45?
Probably. All these contracts, people are going to be in shock when their contracts come up for renegotiations.
Oh yeah, no one's watching it, and they keep getting sued. It's like you're costing
Yeah.
us more money than
Right.
we're even paying you.
Yeah.
And
the only other article I want to cover is
the wildfire.
No, open up we need our own OnlyFans account.
Who says that?
Yeah, well, this poor girl.
Yeah, she was busy.
She was trying to break the record for
She
banging
did break
too
the
many.
record.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and then had to get rushed to the hospital.
Yeah.
Wonder why? She got ripped apart.
Yep.
Oh my God, that's disgusting.
It is.
Could you imagine being the 583rd dude in line?
I would rather not.
Yeah, I'm like, what has been in there? What is still in there?
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's
If
like,
you're not first, you're last.
Oh my God, Ricky Bobby.
Mm.
Did you imagine the stink in that room?
Oh, it had to be horrible.
And you got some KY? Oh no, there's plenty of blood. What?
Yeah.
I wanted to bring up the wildfire in California because all I can think of is how's Newsom going to blow this again? You know?
We'll find a way.
Before you change topic, like, let me ask
sure.
you this: do you think anybody learned this lesson from this?
From what? The 583 guys?
You think anybody learned the lesson?
Probably not.
Yeah,
Don't be last.
I just can't imagine.
Just girls in general, they're not gonna learn from this shit.
No, as long as they're making millions of dollars on OnlyFans because stupid people are willing to pay for it. No.
Well, here's the problem with that, Brian, is most of these OnlyFans broads aren't making millions of dollars. Most of them try it out because they are, these women are making $100,000 a year.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, you're also not a whatever, you know. You're not super hot and doing the nasty stuff that you know that people pay for to watch porn. They just go to like the free porn sites.
Yeah.
So now you just went and railed a bunch of dudes, put it on the internet for your father and brother to see, and only made $100.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Why is it worth it?
Yeah, exactly. Way to ruin your life. I hope you at least use an alias so that you can apply for a real job someday, you know?
Not likely.
Okay. Well, I mentioned the wildfires. I'm just curious to see how far they go. Did Newsom learn anything from the last one?
Nope.
We'll find out. Apparently,
I mean, they're not. The forestry management hasn't changed since the last wildfire, so it's still there's no clear. They're still not like cutting down trees, the dead trees, and clearing out the dead forest stuff, leaves and stuff. So
yeah, 300 people have been evacuated. It's right near Yosemite National Park, and 300 people doesn't sound like much, but this is in a very rural area.
Yeah.
Right next to Yosemite National Park. This fire spread over 700 acres in 2 days. So there you go. Had you cut down and taken out some of this dead brush, maybe this fire would already be out.
Yep.
But for whatever reason, California's like, just leave it there. Who cares?
You got to. It's the way they do it. And
now I haven't checked my U.S. Steel stock since I saw this, and because I realized it was already too late to get involved, further involved. But Trump has said Nippon Steel and U.S. Steel are entering into a partnership. Nippon Steel is a giant Japanese steel company. And remember, Biden, praise where praise is due. Joe Biden would not allow Japan to buy U.S. Steel. Just so everyone knows, that's a company, not steel from the United States.
Right.
I bet there's a giant bump in their stock over this. I'm tempted to sell it right now while it's at the peak of everyone buying, and then try to buy it back in a couple months. But
Right.
I've sold a lot of stock recently to do home repairs, and I kind of don't want to take a bunch of risks right now because this is supposed to be my retirement too. You know what I mean?
Right.
Don't get me wrong, I got a 401k as well. That's like a broader investment, but I bet you I have more money in my private portfolio than I do in my 401k.
Yeah, we need to talk about your 401k sometime.
Why?
It's not safe.
No stock is ever safe. It's always a gamble.
Yeah, because it could be moved into an annuity where you get the market gains without the market risks.
Yeah, and I could also cut off the 401k altogether and go into a gold backed IRA too.
True.
You know, there's plenty of options. It's just the places I've worked have done a certain thing for me, and I've always just I transferred my TSP into a
Mhm.
401k,
Yeah.
and my everyone I've ever worked for is, well, I say that everyone I've had a real job versus like a gas station, like when I was
Mhm.
welding and stuff, would match 100% of what I put in.
Yeah, but nothing's being matched now, and you're at 100% market risk. So,
Yeah, I'm certain my 401k was down because of this tariff thing, because people panicked on certain stuff and then other stuff went up.
yeah,
That's why I started my own private portfolio too,
yeah.
you know,
We'll
to
talk. We need to
offset.
talk about it offline.
All
Yeah,
right,
this should be
guys.
interesting.
Hey, I
Oh,
gotta
we're
You
go.
out of
done
here?
anyway, Guapo. Hold on a minute.
All
Why don't you
right.
hang out through the music, buddy?
All right.
All right,
We're pulling the
Brian.
plug.
Yeah, that's our show. We're gonna pull the plug. It was a good time. That lasted longer than I thought it would.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I ran
Considering
out
we
of
just did
beer,
a show
so
on Tuesday night, so
yeah.